Well, welcome back everybody to the 2025 OS Catch World Cup quarterfinals. We are here with another match, a hotly anticipated one, I think, as well, in the winners bracket between the third-seeded Russian Federation against the sixth-seeded Finland. Two teams with a lot to prove and some really good squads. So, super excited to be jumping into this one. I am Maito, and I'm joined here tonight by Realmas. How are you?
Hello, very excited for these next coming matches in the winner bracket. We get to see some of our top teams just duke it out on this very difficult pool for a quarterfinals pool, I would say. It's going to be great. This match in particular, probably, I will say, I expect it to be one of the closest matches this week. Also with very high catch level from both of these teams, because I think at around quarterfinals, these teams are around their peaks in terms of scaling and difficulty. So we will see some really consistent maps, and I'm very excited for this one.
Absolutely, and it looks like we're already in to the picks and bans. Finland looking to win that one, the captain Verti picking first, and Russia goes for a no mod 4 ban. Pretty expected. Finland are one of the best convert teams this year. They have a really nice lineup for that with Leno, Verti, and Kagia. So expected ban from Russia. It's over to Finland now. What do you think from them?
For Finland, I would say they probably want to ban something like HD1 that Russia has proven to be very consistent on. And it's really not something that Finland, I think, will be able to play well. There is a really defined weakness for Finland on HD. So I would think that they won't want to ban that. Yeah, HD1 is going to be... makes a lot of sense. Because, yeah, Russia has been performing super well. Yeah, now it makes sense. It makes sense. And Finland really has kind of a third player issue on HD, so it makes sense.
Yep. Good ban. Out of both teams, I think those are the... well, correct, I don't know if you can say correct bans, but the most logical, I believe, kind of targeting their biggest weak spots compared to the other teams. So those out of the way now, and it's over to Finland's first pick. Interested to see what they go for now that no mod 4 is off the table. I feel like that definitely would have been the go-to map. But what do you reckon?
Yeah, I think Finland is a team that really wants to play on these Nomad 2, Nomad 3s. But it's kind of hard against Russia because they're also good at this stuff. So DD2, kind of surprising, honestly, because Russia has been performing very well on DT, on this CWC. We'll see what they have in store for us, but yeah, it's not really the type of map I would expect here.
Okay, going to be DT2 in the end from Finland. Maybe a little bit of a curveball, picking double time into Russia, which of course is a little scary. All things considered. I mean, Russia are an incredible double time team, of course, but I would say, I don't know. I'm not sure, but clearly Finland are feeling really nice on this map. I mean, going for it right off the bat. So, yeah, first pick going to be DT2. We'll probably see the expected lineups come in as long as there's no player issues.
Yeah, thing is, for the player lineups for this one, something that you probably wouldn't expect looking at both teams, but I would say that Russia has way more roster depth than Finland. So far, out of like 12 maps, I believe, from Finland, they've had the same 3 players for 10 of them. Yertu hasn't showed up at all since the beginning of the World Cup. I'm not even really sure they're active. So it's essentially always VT Kaguya playing everything, and then Leno or Jonsku filling in for the third slot, depending on usually how mechanical the map is.
Yeah.
Well, Russia really has a very versatile roster with players who specialize in all kinds of different stuff and can flex around and practice different stuff. So this is something that I think will favor Russia on this one.
Yep, I definitely agree that Russia has a lot more of of a depth in their roster, a lot more stuff to kind of work around with their players. But here we go into the first map, double time to the control DT, and a couple early misses coming off already. One from vv, but all of the Russian players already dropping in. It's a 40k lead to Finland early on. It's a good start for them. Another miss coming down from Nelly already.
Yeah, I think the biggest difference is really Nelly performing a bit worse than the rest of the lobby. Still, they do have some time to recover, but yeah, not a nice start for Russia. Rackety will be missing as well, and Insomnia, and that's now looking really rough for Russia. There's no combo on their side. Finland is steering through a map, actually.
They are playing absolutely incredible. I don't even know what to say at this point. I mean, it's a 160k lead to Finland already. Clearly, this was the perfect pick for them out of the gates. Russia finally getting some combo, but Rackety drops yet again. Nelly and Insomnia trying to build up a little more, but this map is functionally over. We're only a little past halfway, but a miss from Kaguya there doesn't really affect anything whatsoever. I mean, Finland have this sealed away.
Yeah, already. I mean, it was kind of decided that right at the beginning. It just kept on piling on the score difference for Finland. Very nice pick, and I would not say even that the Russian scores are necessarily bad, really. It's just Finland performing super well so far on this one. vv still holding 900 combo. It's very impressive because this map is really rough, honestly, to hold on to.
And he hits 1,000 combo there now, the 4-digit combo in. What a performance here from the Finnish captain in vv, and a fantastic start to this quarterfinals match against a tough opponent. 226k in favor, and I think maybe I overlooked Finland's DT capabilities. I mean, they were first on DT2 and DT3 last week, so clearly on these kind of control, more gimmicky-esque maps, they are super strong, and that might bode some uncertainty for Russia later down the line, but of course it is their pick now.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't have expected them to perform that well, but really a nice sight to see that from Finland. They're not really a team that you look at and you really think DT, but and I've expected them to start to get a bit outscaled by the DT pool, but still not the case at all. Very nice performance from them. Russia a bit lower than what I expected, but still, I don't think that counts the DT out. Maybe it's just this map. Still, Finland is showing up very strongly here on the beginning of the map, and it's gonna be a bit scary for Russia to just come in and see your opponent getting like 1 and 2 misses on this map.
Yeah, a real statement to be made starting off this match, but Russia with their pick now. It's Hard Rock 2, House on Fire, Slam Bamboo. This is definitely a fan favorite song. Not sure about necessarily a fan favorite map. It's pretty tough overall, but this is their pick now. What do you think of this one?
It's again not the one thing I would have expected of Russia, but still, Russia has a very strong roster. I think on HR they have players. We're starting to get, at a point in the tournament in which players can actually kind of solo carry on some picks. And Insomnia, who just came in the lobby, is someone that absolutely can perform on these maps and almost solo carry with great performances. But overall, even then, they have a full complete roster for HR. The pick makes sense. I'm not really sure how good Finland is going to be on this, though. But yeah, why not? Why not try the preseason HR? And yeah, we'll see. I'm not really sure how Finland is good. How good Finland is at this. We also see VTC being switched out of the lobby for this one, which is something that is very rare actually for Finland. Usually, the only things VT doesn't play is like some DTs, but not seeing VT on HR2 is kind of surprising, actually.
Yep, pretty shocking, honestly, to see. I mean, we've basically seen him in on every single map.
Yeah.
So far, bar like maybe one for Finland. So the captain is out early. Maybe, I mean, definitely wouldn't be shook after that last performance or anything. So I honestly have no idea what that's about. But regardless, here we go into Hard Rock 2. Segmentum making their first appearance here as well. Leno, the first to drop out of the players. Everyone else building up nicely to 200, so it's about a 1 miss lead to Russia, but it's going to go down as Segmentum finds a drop.
Rated by Segmentum. This map combo does not go up very quickly, so it takes a decent amount of time to recover. And actually, double miss here from Jonsku and Kaguya is going to hurt a ton, especially with Rocket in Suna still holding.
That hurts. That really, really hurts. And Kaguya finds yet another miss. Rackety and Insomnia, like he said, well, we're holding until that miss. Now it's only a single full combo from Rackety, but as the supporting combo from Segmentum, who is building back up, reaches that 200, it's a comfortable 50k lead for Russia for now, but they're definitely not out of the water. Leno, though, finds another miss that's going to build an even bigger buffer halfway through, and it's a 70k lead to Russia.
Yeah, and it's so tough because you see just a couple of misses like these ones from Leno is making them stay under 200 combo for very extended periods of time and losing so many points compared to Russia, who's still holding very well. Insomnia has found a miss, as you said prior, but very well recovered. And yeah, the lack of combo is being felt. It's a miss from Segmentum, but double traded by Jonsku and Kaguya. It's also Insomnia though. Now it's only Rackety holding the FC, and there's no combo anywhere else, so I'm not really expecting Finland to be able to come back on this one.
Yep, looks like yet another comfortable first pick here from the Russians. Good one from Finland first, and they have answered right back. A 6-digit lead. More misses come out of the Finnish players in Jonsku and Kaguya. And what a performance here from Russia. Insomnia finds a miss, but this map is sealed away. They actually lose a lot of their combo, but Finland have absolutely nothing to respond with, and Russia are just going to basically take a leisurely stroll into this first point. So well done. A good performance out of the gates after a big loss in the early one, but seems to have not affected them at all.
Well, yeah, they do know that it was Finland's first pick, their strength. I mean, maybe not what they expected them to pick, but it was their first pick. It's fine to lose on that. I think we're in a match that will be decided by just one single breakpoint, maybe, because either of these teams have very solid picks and can perform very well on them. So maybe just being able to get a breakpoint on the opponent's pick just once in the match really would make the difference. Otherwise, there is also a good shot at tiebreaker on this one. These teams seem to be quite evenly matched.
Yep. It really does seem that way, honestly. They have a lot of firepower on both sides here, and it's going to be tough to take one off of the other, but yeah, you're probably right in saying that a single breakpoint is going to matter a lot. We've seen matches where breakpoints go back and forth, and maybe it's expected. Yeah. Teams have kind of uncertainty, but on this match, I'm not so sure.
Yeah, especially since the pools are starting to get to be difficult enough for teams to play on their strengths and against the opponent's weaknesses. It was not really the case on round of 16 because the maps were still easy enough that non-specialist teams could, be consistent still and compete. But on this one, it's going to be tough. And we see Nomad 3 from Finland, which is something that makes a ton of sense. Nomad 3 is absolutely what you would expect Finland to pick. They have players like VT who love these types of maps. And on these lower AR gimmicks, I'm really expecting a strong performance from them.
Yeah, absolutely. I kind of would have expected maybe this to be first or second. So I mean, it's not too surprising to still see it early on here from Finland. Their game plan seems to be still kind of structured around these more kind of gimmicky, techie maps. Yep. Seems that really is where their strengths lie, and yeah, a good pick here on paper, but of course you never know what might happen in the end of. And yep, they've got their 3 core players in vv, Leno, and Kaguya. And I wonder who Russia's going to put up against that scary 3-man.
Yeah, I'm not actually sure yet. Rakety, I think Russia has several players who can play this. Yeah, Kitsunavi also makes sense. They have enough roster depth so that they can have different players for different stuff. But yeah, on paper I would give this to Finland. It's still, not over because this map is very long and very tricky. And just having an off run or, not feeling that well on the map, that comfortable, especially going from, Air 10, CS 6.5 to this. Maybe we can see some underperformances and stuff, and it can turn things around very quickly.
Yep, absolutely. Well, it's not a map you want to go into feeling a little uncomfortable or uncertain on. It will punish you.
Yep.
And, well, that has been the story on this map for a lot of the weekend. And one of will be the same here, but 2 very strong teams who I think have some great rosters. Pretty much their total expected rosters. Rakety, Kitsunavi, and Nelly for that Nomad. On Russia, we've seen time and time again. And let's see how this works out. Finland looking to break the deadlock and gain a 1-point advantage once more.
Yep. Getting into the actual meat of the map here with these rate 4 sliders and lots of odd snaps. It's very easy to just slip up and miss a lot of stuff. These sliders especially are very punishing because, these big droplets, you miss a single one and combo is broken, just exactly like what happened to Kaguya here.
Yep, that is a first drop out of Kaguya. Everyone else, though, holding on completely. Of course, as I say that, Nelly has to find a drop, and Finland will retake the lead, but only slightly. vv and Leno, Rakety and Kitsunavi, still 2 FCs on the side of each team, and this is neck and neck past that first difficult half into some more snappy sections now.
Yeah, it's actually going to be very close because both of these teams seem super comfortable on the pick. Only 2 misses so far, and yeah, another one will just be the difference maker. At this point, everyone is holding so well, even halfway through the map, still 4 FCs. I mean, no, 3 FCs.
I think Rakety did find a miss there, but builds up immediately, and it's still only a 1 miss lead to Finland. We're halfway through, and this could 100% change. The 2 no-mod consistency titans in Leno and vv are still holding on to their double S's. Rakety finds another drop, though. That is going to matter.
And
Kitsunavi goes down. That is a massive miss for Russia. Finland putting all of their combos up. No misses to be found. Oh, no. As I say that, it's a double miss.
Yeah, and some misses to be found, actually. Yeah,
they have their combos, Russia.
Still, another trade from Nelly and Leno. Yeah, they can do it, though VT is still holding in, cancelling a miss. Kitsunavi also missing. It's even with the very few misses from Finland, it's super difficult for Russia to be able to come back on this one. 80k of difference now. The map is fairly long, so that's quite the big score lead for Finland at this point. And we really can see how consistent they are on this, really. A showcase from everyone involved.
Look at vv go, still on a double S here for Finland. Everyone else missing there except for Nelly and the Finnish captain. Will he make it to the end with that FC intact? Yes, he will. What a score. An FC on No-Mod 3. Very well done. And Finland secure the point by 100k. Another great pick from them.
Yeah, absolutely. Very... The pick made a lot of sense and it really worked for them. We can see that there's actually not that much difference between the second and third players between the teams, but really VT with DFC made such a big difference. And playing off of that really, I think, is not a bad idea for the team. If they know that VT can perform that well on some of these picks. Though I do not think that in this pool there is many maps like this. But yeah, great pick. No, it's up to Russia to be able to match that, and it's gonna be HR1 going back to back HR. This time more of the streamy consistency type. It did work on HR2, but this map is quite different. I would say that Finland probably has more of a shot at this one than HR2.
This is, yeah, probably another relatively, I mean, expected pick. I mean, Russia are a really good hard rock team. They're really good at everything, to be honest. I mean, they're the third seed, of course. You have to be pretty strong regardless of the mod pool. But yeah, they have a great roster for something like this. Usually it's Insomnia, Nelly, Confusion, or Segmentum now actually has changed the name back, I think, to their previous ones. So maybe a little bit of a swap out. Not sure when that happened. But regardless, we have Hard Rock 1 now, Skin Thief. It has been a pretty popular map in general. A lot of players have really enjoyed this, and it's understandable why. It's really fun and a big opportunity to get just a really good combo, really get into the map, and I think Russia have a good chance to do that here.
Yeah, they should, because as I said before, you really do not want to give away a breakpoint, and Nelly is the first one to miss very early on. The map is fairly dense in combo, so it should be fine, but still, do not give them more than that, because you know how consistent Finland can be. And hey, this one is gonna hurt a bit more, especially with Segmentum missing as well.
Yeah, those are some tough misses early on here for Russia. It's only Insomnia keeping up with those 3 Finnish FCs. That consistent 3-man showing what they're made of yet again, but it will be a finally a drop from Verti. The captain goes down. Leno and Kaguya still holding its about. A 1 miss lead at the moment, and it's going to fall basically all the way down now. That miss from Kaguya really hurting here from Finland, and Russia have their combos back.
Yeah, the score lead should be about, nothing essentially at this point. Also, VT dropped quite a lot on these misses, so hurt their score a bit more, but still, we're almost halfway through. I think everyone is well into the map now and feeling a bit more comfortable, it looks like, on the Russian side. Going into this K section with a couple of wiggles that could maybe throw some players off. Does not look like anyone is willing to miss, though. It's gonna be Insomnia.
Oh no, Insomnia. That is a tragic miss here for Russia. Really not what they want to see. Their final FC gone, and now it's only Leno on the board in this slow section to hold that FC down for Finland. They're back up to around a miss lead, maybe a little less. Insomnia recovers well, and it's a lot of big combos at the moment, Realmas.
Yeah, but that's the thing with this type of map. You can never really be so sure, because as we've seen VT in the first half of the map, with these very dense streams, if you miss once, you can miss so many fruits and lose so much score. So 20k is really nothing, and can be caught up in a matter of seconds just by a couple misses. But it does not look like anyone is finding these misses on the
Segmentum.
Yeah, Segmentum is finding a miss, and it's gonna give away so much score for Finland on their own pick for Russia. It's really not what they want to see. It's still doable at this point, but Finland will need to find a miss, maybe with Kaguya like this.
That is a really big miss right at the end of the map. And again, it's another drop from Kaguya. Leno still holding to the FC. Vedi with the big combo. I think they're going to run out of time, though, Russia. And Finland, despite those last 2 misses, walk away with a break point by the skin of their teeth on the Skin Thief. And it's an FC from Leno. What a score there, too. Pulling them ahead. If that wasn't an FC, it would have been a Russian point, more likely than not. And that is a big break point. They're now up 1-3 because Russia had the second pick, so now back to Finland's, and they're in a really good position.
Yeah, they do have the opportunity to be up 4-1 against Russia, which is great for them. Really hurts for Russia though. They could have had this one. Maybe even the couple of early misses that I said should probably not matter. Maybe it actually did end up matter in the end. But Finland will go onto mixed mod 2, the lower AR mixed mod. That is really tough on HD. And
Yep.
also very tricky on HR. So we shall see. These two teams have quite strong mixed mod rosters because they do have specialists for every mod. Finland does not really have, great HD players that can scale very well into the tournament, but they do have still very. They can have one player on HD and them do fine. I think this should be VT on HD, so it should not hurt too much the HD weakness.
It usually is the captain coming in for the mixed mod hidden, and it seems like he is indeed in that spot. Jonsku going to be holding it down on no mod, Kaguya on hard rock. Expected lineups here from Finland and from Russia as well. Neris usually actually takes that hidden spot as well as Segmentum on the no mods, so all guns are blazing here for both teams as we get into this tough mixed mod 2 slot, and Finland looking to consolidate that break point. It's an early miss from Segmentum.
Yeah, you do not want to see your nomad player missing on these maps, but it's gonna be a miss from Segmentum, followed by VT a bit shortly after, actually dropping to an A rank but recovering. And this early on, Russia should take a bit of a lead, but still not much, as it's one miss against one. Neris on the HD though will find a miss, and it will just give it back to Russia, but it's still very slight lead.
Yep. Kaguya and Jonsku doing well to maintain those FCs. It's a painful miss from Neris there, and Insomnia the only one to be holding that FC along with the Finnish players, and yet another drop from Neris. Finland increase their lead little by little. This consistency from this Finnish roster at the moment is a little, well, it's not shocking, but to this extent against Russia right now, they are putting on some kind of show. Everyone holding on fantastically halfway through, 60k ahead, but Russia with the combos to capitalize on any miss, but not anymore.
Yeah, the difference is genuinely only being made on HD, and HR missing for Insomnia, while Kaguya is still assessing the map. Consistency showcase here by Finland is pretty insane. It's gonna be a miss from VT still, followed by Jonsku, and another one from VT, but still, they definitely do have the HD advantage over Neris, who has once again found the miss. But just that score from Kaguya is also making kind of a difference now at this point against Insomnia's one miss, who recovered. But yeah, the HD deficit is being a bit too much here for Russia.
Yep, it for sure is, and what a performance here from Kaguya as well, still on the double S. I don't want to say anything to curse it by accident, but he doesn't look to be phased by anything whatsoever. Coming up to 1200 combo now, the map isn't too close from finishing, and Finland increasing now to a 6-digit lead. They are going to stroll into another point, going to be up 4-1. Can Kaguya hold that FC? Looks like he can. What a performance there.
Wow.
From the Hard Rock player. And I mean, FCing this map on Hard Rock, it's really not easy whatsoever. I mean, we saw 3 misses from Insomnia, who's a fantastic Hard Rock player as well. And yeah, it really was just that hidden difference from us that made it in the end.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, even then, even with the HDs being matched, it would have been a Finnish win because of HR and Nomad, but it's really tough for Russia because they're playing against such consistency from Finland that any peak essentially is is scary. I'm really curious to see where they go from here. They still haven't touched HD, which is still open for them. But seeing how Finland is performing honestly on this pool, I would say that even HD, if they manage to have some consistency, they could perform and get a breakpoint on at this point.
Yep. Finland just look really, really strong and comfortable. And now simply outclassing Russia on almost every facet, and not too surprising to see a timeout from the Russian captain, Nelly, asking for that. So we'll take an extended break between picks now. And, well, yeah, Russia really have to maybe rethink their strategy. This next map, absolutely crucial to get Finland, have them on the ropes, honestly. One more loss here on this next map, and it's more than likely just going to be game over.
Yeah, but what's crazy is that on a good run, if Russia just kind of locks in and manages to play everything well, they do have the potential to come back on this one and win on almost everything with the roster that they have. But they're really, it's part of, tournament mentality. They have to stay focused. Do not let that discourage them because they lost their breakpoint. And really think about that next pick, because it's not an easy one to make. I would have said that Russia is probably a team that likes to play on no mod 1s, but with how consistent Finland is playing, I do not know if they really want to go for that. So it's a tough call.
It really is. And the timeout will be expiring not too short. And, well, maybe we'll use this time to remind everyone to get some banners, Not a bad call, I think. They look awesome. Support your favorite teams in the game and the tournament. So, go head over to the shop and get those if you want. They look really, really cool. But hopefully not too long, not too much more deliberation before Russia will have to go for their next map, and I am very, very intrigued to see what that's going to be. They've had a lot of time to think now, so I'm sure they've come up with something that they are confident in.
Yep.
But what's it going to be?
Yeah, again, once again, the thing is that even if there's stuff that they're confident on, like Nomad 1, which makes sense because you would expect a team like Russia to be good on Nomad 1. Finland, on the other side, is just out there playing everything extremely well and very consistently, so even a pick like that is kind of a gamble, honestly.
Yep. I mean, Russia, obviously, well, they seeded first on the Nomad 1 and played Nomad 1 round of 32. They were first on that map, so of course they have the consistency for this kind of classic Camellia Nanahira collab here, but they for sure have to be feeling a little unsure on this map, considering just how well Finland have been playing so far. Their consistency has just been unmatched, and well, this is a must-win point for Russia, you have to say.
Yep, absolutely. Could be a pivotal point for Russia. If they do lose this one, it's gonna be extremely difficult for them to come back. But we'll see. We do see the lineup that is actually Nili, Rackety, and Segmentum. You would expect Nili and Rackety, but maybe I would have expected Insomnia to play this. But
Yeah.
Segmentum is also a very solid player on this, so it does make sense that they can play this. And yeah, I think
either of those two are pretty expected.
Absolutely.
And John Skoo going to be coming in here for Nomad 1 for Finland. It's pretty expected lineup them as well. Be Leno as well. But here we go into Nomad 1. It is a consistency battle between these two teams on a... Honestly, it's still not an easy map. It's 7.3 stars, but for all of these players, that shouldn't be something that they struggle on too much. It's just going to be the nerves, and if they can really hold, I expect the combos to get quite high here. No one missing out at the start at all.
Yep, so far so good, but surprisingly, we've seen, I think, on this map, a decent amount of misses, even from very solid players. So I'm not sure if we should expect just very few misses or not. I would say yes, given how good these players are, but... And it looks like it. So... Every miss looks like it will be very important.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, on a map like this where consistency is so important, the just one single miss may even decide it in the end here. Still, all FCs from the players. Jonsku, sorry, with a droplet miss, but a couple on the Russian side as well. I think Finland leading a bit in the spinners so far, actually, and both teams will take a little longer and see that it is practically even, and seeing that just might put some more nerves into everyone. I mean, you would probably expect we're halfway through and no misses have come out from any of the players yet.
No one is missing. You would not expect spinners to matter in a quarterfinals Nomad 1. But from what it looks like, there is a risk that the spins might actually matter in the end. And Finland is known as a very solid spinner team, so they are still holding that lead. No misses in sight. Getting a bit worried for the teams here, because the next miss is gonna hurt so much if it ever happens. It's Rackety.
It does. It does. Rackety falls. Finland yet again have an advantage. There's no trade from anybody else. Finland fully going to capitalize. It will be a one miss lead for them as Rackety builds back up to 200 now. And that could honestly be the decider. If there's no more drops, they take a brief moment to see Russia now know they're behind. And all they can do is hold. All they can do is hold and hope that a miss comes out from Finland. There's nothing more that they can do, and there's a quarter left to go.
Yeah, less than that even. And losing your own pick because of a single miss would be extremely tragic for Russia. They are playing this extremely well, and Segmentum is also finding another one. Just two misses, and the score lead is just so big for Finland, still holding the triple FC at this point. What is even happening?
I mean, this consistency is unbelievable from Finland. They've all reached 2,000 combo. The map is coming to a close. They're 36k ahead. It doesn't look like anything will phase this Finnish roster. This is some of the best consistency we have seen so far in the Catch World Cup, and that is absolutely the dagger now. Finland are just unrelenting in this match. Kaguya finds a miss at the end, but it doesn't matter. 50k lead for Finland, and they take yet another point, another break point, and they're up to match point.
That's a crazy team score. Losing with 3 millions on this is absolutely insane.
Yep.
What Russia can... That? Yeah, no, they can't even blame themselves for their performance. Everyone is at 1 million and above. Except Rackety, like, just 4k under, but... 6k under, but that's what I said when I mentioned that Nomad 1, very good for Russia. They can play that very well, as we've seen. But the issue is it's still a gamble because Finland is able to just do this.
Honestly, the question is, what can you do? I mean, just what can you do? It's functionally 3 FCs there for Finland to 1 and a 1 miss. When you get 3 million score, you usually win the point. I mean, that's how it goes, but against Finland, that's not a certainty anymore. And now they're up to match point. It's their pick, and they're going to go for DT3 Scarlet Rose, the density map, to try and seal it out.
Yeah, and I would say that pick looks good given how DT2 went. I would have thought that the pool would be difficult enough for stuff like what happened on number 1 to not happen, but we are seeing Finland playing this quarterfinals pool as if it were like a round of 32, essentially. It's really crazy what's happening. Even their weaknesses, it doesn't matter, and it just doesn't matter. They're able to perform on everything. We usually know that around quarters, semis is where Finland shines the most because they do have a bit of late tournament scaling issues, but around mid-tournament like this, they are just steering through everything. I think, essentially, with how they're playing, they could win against almost any team in these quarterfinals.
Yeah, honestly, they're looking unbeatable. Really, I mean, you said it. They are looking unstoppable right now, and Russia are on the back foot. They are down in the dumps at the moment. Their spirit almost shattered, but they still have one more chance to get another point back here. They're not down, they're not out. Of course, they're still going to fight their best. Another great roster in Nelly, Insomnia, and Segmentum. A lot of weight on their shoulders to keep this match alive against that core 3 in Vedi, Leno, and Kaguya. And everyone is holding out of the gates once again, but it's a miss from Leno.
Okay, first miss from Finland. Russia looks like they're fairly comfortable on the map. VT will miss, and Leno again. Now it's a pretty decent lead actually for Russia, at around 1/4 of the map. And I did not see Segmentum missing, but it was also reset for them. But Leno just really isn't managing to get a big combo, and that's really what's hurting Finland right now.
Yeah, maybe just being out for a single point has kind of stopped. Leno's momentum was playing superbly well before, but now this is a dangerous lead here for Finland that Russia has. And it's we're halfway through. Still 2 FCs from Insomnia and Nelly. Finally, Russia are showing what they're made of in DT. Segmentum does find a drop just before the break here, but still, the Finnish players see they are pretty far behind. They have a lot of work to do.
They do. And it's really hard to recover this type of score lead when it's essentially almost one player making the whole difference. Because you have to expect tons of misses from the other players who does not look like they are missing. Kaguya will find a miss, and now the lead is getting very comfortable for Russia.
Yep, they're almost up to 100k, although that miss from Segmentum does send the lead down a little. Insomnia drops too. Finland have the combos. Oh, surely not. Surely not. Finland cannot take this from here, but that was a drop from Verdi. Thank God for the Russians. You have to say
Nelly still. It's not over. It's not over.
It's not. They're 30k. They're down. Finland have some more combos going. Any more misses from Russia might send it over, but it looks like they're going to hold. The map is coming to an end. Will there be anything else? There's a trade. Oh my goodness.
Wow, that was scary.
It seemed like they just had that squared away, but suddenly Finland had a fantastic ending to the map and was pretty scary. Some amazing team scores yet again from both Russia and Finland, but finally Russia get a breakpoint back, and this could be the moment they turn it around.
It could be. That's a breakpoint, so that's great for them. And they seem to have just had a great performance on DT3. They're a team that's very solid on this type of map, so they could have taken it, and they did. So maybe some confidence is starting to reappear after losing these points, but still, they know that the Finnish threat is there. They can just pick something, and even then, if they are being consistent like they were on Nomad 1, they can just lose because of how consistent Finland is being. So, once again, next pick for Russia, crucial but tough goal.
Pretty much everything they pick from now on, their next, well, if they have to make it to tiebreak. If they want to get there, they have 2 more maps to pick. So those 2 maps have to be absolutely perfect for them if they want to make it. And, well, seeing Insomnia say that he's nervous, I mean, it's understandable. This is a high-stakes match, and on a map like that where they needed to perform at their best, I mean, Insomnia set a fantastic score. But in the end, the nerves were enough. Or maybe the nerves weren't quite enough, and they hold on for one more. It's DT1 now, so back-to-back DT maps. All of the DT pool has been exhausted, and I think this is a pretty expected pick in the end from Russia. They're super strong.
Yep, DT1 is something, once again, that Russia should be very good at. But, yeah, I would say it's pretty much the same as Nomad 1. They can play that well. It was also the same for Asia 1, actually. Yeah, they can play that well, but can they play it better than Finland? That's really the question here.
Well, we're probably just going to see a couple of misses be the difference here, honestly. If nothing has changed from previous maps, just a consistency battle. Obviously, this is the consistency map double time 1, although the AR has scaled a pretty reasonable amount from last time. It was 8.7 last week. It's up to AR9 DT, which translates to 10.3. And so the reading jumping up quite a bit, but both teams good enough to manage it for sure. I think it will just be consistency in the end that matters. Don't think a reading diff should be too much of a problem, but we'll have to see as we jump into this one. Russia still under the pump. They need to perform.
Yes, and hopefully, even with what Insomnia said, it doesn't really affect them too much because they can't really afford to give anything to Finland at this point, whether it is misses or points. But we'll get going.
There is a miss.
Oh yeah, it is a miss from Segmentum very early on. But another one here is gonna hurt a bit more.
Yep, that is a painful miss, but Leno does go down. However, Russia don't quite have the combo to fully capitalize on it. Into the first Ki we go, and Kaguya finds a drop. That is going to help Russia a lot more. They will retake the score lead as Segmentum hits that 200 combo. Nelly and Insomnia, who played so well last time, really locked in on double time. Those two are just, you know, old history players here for Russia, showing up when it matters, and they have a 1 miss lead.
Yeah, and another miss from Jonsku, just as Kaguya recovers 200, giving a bigger lead now to Russia. It's still not comfortable at all. It's really just banking on Nelly and Insomnia still FCing, but Jonsku will recover very quickly. It's around a 50k score difference here, and looks like the consistency is now on the Russian side. To be fair, there's just not many misses on either side, but looking good so far. We still have about 1/3 of the map left. Hopefully no one misses in the slow section, but it looks like...
No,
It's a trade, it's a trade.
Oh goodness, why did you say anything? That was luckily a trade. The curse doesn't affect anyone too bad. They basically missed at the exact same time. Still around a 50k lead here to Russia. Everyone else building up well. Less than a quarter left to go. Finland definitely have the combos. If Russia slips up, which they do, Segmentum the first to fall. Nelly and Insomnia though still going strong. Kaguya does trade that miss. Russia building that lead back up once again. They just need to hold on for about
Segmentum.
10 more seconds. Oh, that's another miss.
Not anymore otherwise.
I don't think so. There's just not enough time. Nelly and Insomnia popping off. Going to round out this map with 2 FCs.
Nope.
No.
That was crazy.
Okay. That was insane. I'm sorry. That is an unbelievable curse. But regardless, Russia get the pick. their pick in the end. They get the point, and they are looking a little scary now. They seem to have found their stride, found some consistency, and well, still Finland's pick to seal it out.
Yep. No, that's good. They look like they're getting a bit more consistent as the match goes on, and Finland is finding a bit more misses. Not many still, but now I can see Russia coming back. They still have to win on the next Finnish pick and win their own pick if they want to go for the tiebreaker, which is gonna be a tall task, especially, I mean, not even especially on the Finnish pick, because the next Russian pick will also be very difficult for themselves. But this next one should be the most difficult one. Seeing what Finland wants to go for, I would say something like Nomad 2 would make sense. The technical nomads is really something that Finland likes in general.
Yeah, absolutely. I really would not be surprised to see something like that. I mean, we saw how they did on Nomad 3, and Nomad 2 is basically maybe like kind of a scaled down version of that Nomad 3. So, interested to see, of course, what they go for. The map pool has been limited quite a lot, but no, it's a complete complete turnaround from what we're saying. It's actually going to be Hidden 3. Still a high AR pick, you can say, for Hidden, I think, at that 9.4, of course. But yeah, it's mechanics for Finland, which still does work out, I think.
It does, but it's still a surprising pick. It's not the first surprising pick, but HD is really the thing that I feel like Finland struggles with. Mostly because they kind of have an issue with their third player. But if they chose HD over something like Nomad 2, it's probably that they can play this well. This is not too difficult, even if you don't play HD. Usually the HD 3s, yeah, such as this one, are the mechanical picks. But yeah, trying to wrap my head around this one, because I'm curious. I'm surprised by this pick.
It's definitely not the most expected pick, but hey, we get thrown curveballs all the time, and this is maybe another one of those. But you know, as I always say, clearly this is what they feel is their best shot in the end to still seal this match out. I mean, they have 2 more chances. They're on match point. They only just need 1 more. And if they reach tiebreak, Russia is going to have all that momentum because they'll have won the last 2 points. And Finland, I don't think really want to get to that stage. Of course, they still have the consistency, but regardless, I think it's going to be tough if they get there. But, you know, still 2 points to go if Russia want to make it. Let's see how Hidden 3 goes. Seems the rosters are finally in. A little bit of waiting there, but here we go.
Yeah, with this, the Kusanaivi and Neres coming into play, HD makes a lot of sense. 2 very strong HD players. And on the other side, just the expected roster, same as most maps. And let's see. If Russia can get past this pick from Finland, they are in a very good position to go for the tiebreaker.
Yep.
And I do think they have a good shot at this one.
Yeah, there's a high chance of this one being pretty close. No misses in the first 100 combo from any of the players. It's just a spinner difference here for Russia at the moment. Oh, was it a miss from like vv right at the start? I think there actually was, which gave Russia that early lead, but that's going to hurt a lot more from Neres. And Nelly goes down too. That is a pretty nice lead early on here for Finland.
Yeah, because they're pretty much at 3 FCs, even if it's a bit less from VT. Let's see how they can hold in this trickier section. Neres is finding some misses. Jonsku is matching it, but still. Oh, they know now is actually... also finding a miss. There's no FC anymore on the Finnish side, but Kitsunaivi finding a break here is really bad for Russia.
Yep, losing that big combo, and now Finland climb back up to around 60k just before the break, and Nelly finds the drop. That is the opposite of what they wanted to see, and Finland really in the driver's seat. Now they just need to hold for a little over a quarter to seal this match away. They have the combo. Leno the first to drop, however, Russia cannot afford to drop anymore. They need to hold these combos up until the end now, just to wait and see, will there be any more Finnish misses? And there are. Leno goes again, but they still need Vedi to find a miss, as well as Jonsku at this point, but it's Neris.
And this is just super rough for Russia, because they now have 80k to recover from with no combo except on Nelly. And Kitsunaivi finding misses again is not helping that. Jonsku and Leno though, but it was more than 100k. It's
not enough time.
Just not enough. They have found many misses and recovered around 50k of score difference at the end, but it was not enough. And Finland ends up winning this one on their own pick, 6-3, to continue on to the winners bracket.
Yep, and Russia dropped down to the losers in the end, but a valiant effort here. I think Finland just came out surpassing, they're a fantastic team, but honestly surpassing expectations a little, you have to say. They played phenomenally, just so consistent throughout the entire match, and very deserved winners here against Russia. In the end, they move forward to the semi-finals in the winners bracket, most likely to face the match that we're going to switch to. Where are we? Oh no, we're not going to switch to. Actually, it's on OC Live 2, I believe. Argentina versus Poland. So the winner of that will face Finland in the semi-finals, and well, we're going to have a quick little swap over now, I believe, to watch the USA up against Japan.
Yep, the match is already started, but we will be switching to it in a couple seconds. So thanks for watching this one, and we'll switch casters, so see you guys.
Bye.
And we are back with yet another match. Just a quick break there, folks, as we get the stream set up here for United States versus Japan. We are going to come a little in about midway through this match. We had some overlaps this morning on the bracket, but US versus Japan underway. Currently 3-0 in favor of the United States. We have gone through the whole pick and ban phase with that. Mixed Mod 1 banned out by the United States earlier, and No Mod 4 banned out by Japan. Just to give you all a quick look at what we are on here. It's going to be the Hard Rock right now, up Hard Rock 2, that we're going to see for our map on the side of the USA as we join them partway through. I am Chili Reaper, one of your casters. We'll be joined once again by Doland, and we're going to see if Japan can pull this one back.
Hello, hello. Yes, indeed. Coming into the fourth map here. It's been pretty rough for Japan, though they've kept it respectable throughout the opening maps here. The first two maps were only lost by about 75k each, which is not bad for Japan, but it's been the consistency for the United States so far. Lexi taking hidden, no surprise here as we get into the precision Hard Rock pick on Hard Rock 2. The US leading into this. Japan going into Hard Rock 1 earlier on. or my bad, the Americans going into Hard Rock 1 for their first pick and electing to keep it in the Hard Rock department.
It's a good pick for them right now, and that's sort of the kicker for this match that we're looking at, is that Japan has gone double hidden, and because we are on 3-0 with the US's pick, that means that this is a double breakpoint match, and albeit it's by a minuscule margin here, Dolan. That is 183k for the United States on Hidden 2, which is not too big, but the US only winning their pick by 75k, and Japan winning theirs, losing theirs by only 72k, and they're looking for huge misses on this pick now, so this could go anywhere.
Yeah, things were actually looking good for Japan there, but unfortunately in those flurry of trades, Hiroshiki and Sawarabi going down with Lexi, favoring the Americans as Sekra recovers, putting them in front by 30k. It's only Molkus and DeCreeper to hold down the full combos.
Strong stuff from the United States holding DeCreeper, and Molkus matching means that this is going nowhere for Japan really fast, and Hiroshiki finding another break is going to kick over more of this score. This is sort of the US's game on the Hard Rock. Japan, they were looking strong on the Hidden earlier, trying to avoid this area, and the US is proving exactly why most teams don't pick this willingly into them, as even into the quarterfinals weekend, they're still looking strong, they're still putting up the full combo. Sekre with an unfortunate early break, Lexi with a beautiful recovery as well, and Japan just finding a little worse of a time as Molkus drops.
Everybody actually hitting those hyper droplets there right before that short little spinner, but Lexi going to be going down right after, as well as Sekre going to allow Japan a chance back into it here. And Japan coming off of a beautiful, clinical performance on the round of 16 pool last weekend. Many would argue that they were one of, if not the very best team that weekend. But unfortunately here, you can see they are getting scaled a little bit out in this quarterfinals pool. But the Americans are providing consistent misses here, Chili or Pair. DeCreeper going down, it's a full team reset. And Molkus and Sawarabi are building.
40k, it's going to continue going down. The US finds one more break in this consistency. They're going to continue losing it as Lexi finds another break. The score goes over ever so slowly. And as more players on the side of Japan get over the combo cap, it's going to be gain. It's Molkus and Sawarabi above right now, and nobody on the US. Sekre finally goes. It's going to be the spinner at the ending. Is it possible for Japan to spin?
Are you kidding?
Oh my goodness.
7,000 points. They're going to come up just short. The Americans were crumbling, but unfortunately for Japan, they held on just a little too long.
What do you do if you're Japan there? You find the early breaks, you recover in the second section, but the United States holds on for just too long. That play on Creeper really doing some work there. Highest score in the lobby, over 900k. Molkus just barely behind, but I mean, the difference of this map is on those two top players there. It's Molkus versus Creeper, and him being able to hold for a bit longer, hold that better accuracy, is giving them that slight advantage over on the team side there, and that's the US to go up 4-0 on Japan now in a match that, from what I heard from a couple of US players, they were maybe a bit worried about today, so they must be really happy with the current result and putting Japan back fairly early as they go for Mixed Mod 2.
Oh yeah, they're definitely concerned because they knew that this was going to be their first major test. They had to face Sweden, probably one of the most deadly teams in the tournament, aside from Japan on a round of 16 pool. They were able to take 3 points off the United States. But Japan, unfortunately, I think, in this quarterfinals pool, have just been scaled a little too much out of it. You know, the difficulty is starting to affect them somewhat in terms of their consistency. And for the United States, when you have Sekre, DeCreeper, and Lexi, the 3 defending, reigning world champions, you need perfection, unfortunately. And the Americans are underperforming today. With the exception of the second map, I would say the Americans have somewhat underperformed, not a crazy amount, but it definitely has not been as dominant as we would have expected out of this US roster. Their performance on Hidden 2, it wasn't bad. It wasn't, you know, great, but it wasn't bad by any means. It was a solid score. 2.67 million points there is pretty decent on Hidden 2. But again, you know they're capable of more, right? And that's the thing, against this Japanese roster that looked so deadly last weekend, that's why the Americans were concerned coming into this match, that they look so consistent, Chillier, and consistency and momentum is very dangerous, as I'm sure you understand as a veteran player yourself.
That is And it should be noted that the United States should be a little on edge with Japan still right now. It is a 4-0 lead, so this is quite the comfortable spot to be in. And Japan is going to have to fight their way back. But on a couple of these points, it has not been the largest of margins. One of Japan's picks went completely the way of the United States. The other one only by about 70k, which is fairly doable over the course of, a 2.5 to 3 minute map. Likewise, with the United States' first pick on the board, was also only about 70k in their favor, which is not what you want to see from your early maps, meaning that there is still some variability left in the pool for Japan. There is going to be areas in which they can claw score back. They're going to be able to push the United States to give a little bit extra over what we've seen on some of these other maps. And as we go into this Mixed Mod 2, one of our originals from 4Key World Cup last year, we start to maybe get one of those maps that Japan could find an avenue in on. The United States, while they have great mod players here, that's sort of where the difficulty is going to lie in this Mixed Mod 2. This is the same thing we talked about last week. It's the reading test with Hidden, it's the precision test with HR, the rhythm variety of this map, of course, as you all may be aware on a Nawashi song, is as complex as ever, which leads to having tricky patterns, spacings, things that are easy to miss on. And that's maybe what Japan is going to try and count on right now, is that the United States is maybe not having the best day ever. Maybe that they do struggle on some of those maps that are a little bit more technically difficult. And now they're going to try and maybe claw back some of this score to get a few points on the board. They only need 2. They only need 2 breakpoints back.
The only problem I see with this strategy is although Sakurai's been struggling somewhat on a few of the Hard Rock picks, Lexi just absolutely dominated the Hidden 2 pick, was the top score by a mile, one missed it. 99.70% accuracy, and putting Lexi back on low AR Hidden, that's going to be a tough battle to win. Although Molkus might be able to defeat Sakurai in the Hard Rock department, you're then counting on Sawarabi to defeat Creeper in the No Mod department, which, again, it's a gamble. This is a gamble. It's doable, but I don't know, Chillier. It's a gamble for sure.
I respect the gamble call. De Creeper has been playing exceptionally well today, one of the standout players in the maps that we've seen thus far, and I think we've seen that in a lot of the earlier weekends. The consistency on Creeper has always been his biggest strength, and as Sakurai finds the first break on the Hard Rock, well, that Molkus 1v1 is starting to look a little bit better with the Hard Rock, as that's an immediate 20,000 score lead for Japan that they're going to want to keep for as long as possible here. As long as Hiroshiki and Sawarabi continue holding combo, this is going to be the advantage for them. Accuracies aside will not make up for the difference of a dropped combo, but it is combo dense in this Mixed Mod 2. So Sakurai already back over. We're already going to stay even as he finds another break, and these technical patterns starting to catch him off pretty badly.
I am very impressed with this Japanese roster right now. Very impressed. I almost don't even want to say names to avoid cursing, but this is exactly what they were planning on right now. But we're getting into the back half of this technical map here, and I'm looking at the hidden players, right? And there goes Hiroshiki, right as I say that. Lexi holding on still, and that is going to pull that score margin back towards center here. Japan still very much in the driver's seat so long as Hiroshiki can recover. They should still be fine, but this is going to get close once again.
It's going to be down to about 20k as long as nobody else finds a break here. Hiroshiki's going to go back to that 200 combo cap, and everything is going to sort of screech to a halt then. And there it is. So we're going to sit around that 30k range just from that second break from Sakurai. You're going to make the difference here. So it's 1 miss to 2 right now. And we are in a low-intensity section into this final difficult bit here, this piano solo. More rhythm switches, more quick snaps. We're not seeing breaks from anyone, but a single miss from either side could seal the deal. Molkus to drop the Hard Rock, and that's going to be the score skyrocketing back to the United States. We have combo density here.
Is there enough time?
Enough time? I think there is, Molkus, in this end.
Oh, no, there's not!
I don't think there is. Oh, no! It's a spinner!
Japan get revenge. They lose 1 by 7k, and now they'll take 1 by 7k. Double S from Lexi. Wow, Sakurai just 1 miss too many, unfortunately. 4 misses out of him. A combined 3 from Japan. Almost able to flip it back just due to the timing of those misses, but denied the sweep. point on the board for Japan.
That is the same thing we just saw flipped on their heads. The United States finally let a point slip away, and for Japan, it's on their own pick, which can be the start of the building of momentum. Now, the question is, are they able to continue it as the United States now makes use of this untouched double time pool? In previous weeks, we've talked about how scary they are across the board on DT, and you do not want to be on the receiving end of that beating when they finally start picking in to the double time pool. And starting off with the DT1, the United States maybe going to be easing into this one a little bit. It's a consistency pick, and that's the name of the game for DT. They've looked good as a roster, they found it, but Japan on that last mixed mod, despite how technically difficult it was, despite how mod favored it was, the consistency actually reigning true for that roster. Better overall holds, as Creeper and Lexi are looking strong today, but we're going to need to see a third come out for the United States to continue holding against Japan, who are very clearly right behind them.
I mean, the United States still are aware that they have the overwhelming advantage still remaining in the matchup, right? The only issue for the Americans that I see moving forward, you know, assuming that they are able to get these last 2 points against Japan here, is they're relying a lot on Sekre, DeCreeper, and Lexi as a trio, which is very effective. It's gotten them far. It's one of, if not the best trios in the tournament outside of the Argentinian roster this year. But we're going to need to see what these other players can do. And unfortunately, we missed Elux's performance in the first half of the match on that hidden 2 pick. Came in, dropped a nice 858,000 score. But we're going to also need to see Yeater and the 47th, who I believe has been unavailable for the first 2 weeks of the tournament. I believe they are back now. So we'll have to see what the Americans have in their back pocket awaiting on the bench. But we know they have some specialists in tow.
They do. I've been told that they're maybe not using some of those players until later stages in the tournament as well, but Yeater back in would be nice to see, as US sort of tends to fall into this cycle of just running the trio for a lot of maps, which I think is great, and if it works for them early, then it works for them, but sometimes cycling in new players is worth it, but they're not here, so there we go. There's the answer.
There's the answer.
I knew 47th wasn't going to be in the picture for the United States until a very late round of the tournament, and Yeater was like sort of here early and played pretty well in that round of 32 matchup for the United States, but has since been gone as we lose Lexi early, possibly an abort as they leave.
Likely an abort. We also want to welcome those of you over from the B stream who have just joined us on that raid. Argentina getting the 6-0 victory over Poland in very dominant fashion, looking absolutely surgical. And they will be advancing to the semifinals to face Finland. The 2 and 3 seed going to clash. That should be a beautiful match next week. But over here, we're still trying to decide Italy's opponent next weekend. The Americans with a 4-1 advantage. Japan just now able to get a clutch 7K victory on that mixed mod pick to get their first point on the board.
7K, not that big, but a win is a win if you're Japan, and the momentum shift can start now, but you and I talked about this already, and for those just getting here, if you know what the United States is capable of on DT alone, given that it's their pick and the consistency of this roster, Japan is going to need to have something special come out in order to win this one. Now, we have seen a couple of extraneous breaks from the United States today, which may give Japan some more concessions than they would usually be offered on a faster pick like this. It remains to be seen that Japan needs 2 break points in order to bring this match back to even and back to the possibility of them even bringing it to the tiebreaker or match point to force it. And it goes through one of the strongest skill sets from the United States now.
In the double time, here we go. Rosters the same for both sides. An early miss comes out from Sekre at the top of your screen, as well as Molkus, who found one shortly before. So they'll be traded.
Nothing major for either side. We're looking for an extra break from Japan, though, unfortunately, is going to be the side that you don't want to see it on. Hiroshiki finding a break, and that's that preference hidden player on the double time trying to match up with Lexi, who is sort of a force to be reckoned with in this match today. The SS is coming across the board, does finally miss a droplet as I say that, so gonna lose the SS, but unfortunately in that same time, Hiroshiki loses their combo, as does Mulkus. And that's a second break for Mulkus, a second one for Hiroshiki with a singular miss from Sekre. And this is looking all too bright for the United States. 80k is not irrecoverable, but with Hiroshiki finding another unanswered miss and this double FC holding for the United States, it's really just on Creeper and Lexi to hold. Sawarabi can't do anything by themselves, and this lead is going to continue and increase. You want Secret to keep breaking right now, in fact. You would rather he keep missing, because that is just the same player over and over finding the drops, who is already below the combo cap, while Japan continues to lose multiple players across the board here.
But unfortunately for Japan, it's the Creeper and Lexi. It's a timeless tradition in Catch the Beat. Say it with me now, the Creeper DT.
What do you do?
Of course, I probably just cursed him, but
let's see it. Make it close, everyone. Let's see Creeper find the first miss on a double time like ever in this tournament, but it's Hiroshiki again, and I think that's just going to push the score lead far out of reach. It's 112k. Each player has approximately 140k left, and unless we see a meltdown from the United States on both Creeper and Lexi right now, there's just not going to be enough time as Sawarabi drops that one FC for Japan, leaving Mulkus to stand alone against the trio here. Lexi and Creeper to bring it in, both with one droplet missed each. Double. I believe maybe two.
Oh, combo.
Oi.
It is going to be the Creeper. No, they tied. They tied. Exact tie, one droplet miss apiece. Rip the double S's. But it's a beautiful team score here for the Americans, just shy of 3 million points. And apparently Sekre has lost a keycap.
Oh no! Oh no!
Oh no! Wait, and still got... Wait, it's still got 950K?
950. Still got 950.
That poor finger.
It's possible. It's possible. I believe it, actually. I used to have someone I knew that would not be able to play Osu late because of the loudness of their keyboard. So we played through an entire tournament one time with them with no keycaps. The entire time. It's possible, folks.
I mean,
Secret is just bringing back old meta. He's just bringing back old meta.
I imagine if you train for it, yeah, okay, that makes sense. But like in the middle of a map, just for your keycap to go Bakushan explosion on you, like that's gotta damage your knuckle or something. That's crazy.
Keycap exploded. How does this happen? It flew off? I'm so intrigued as to how the keycap flies off. I'm imagining those videos of like people slamming their desks and their keycaps popping off like they were just sitting on the table, like popcorn coming out of the pot.
We need some more durable keycaps, folks. We need a sponsor ban or something, bro. This is getting bad.
Secret, I'll send you a bottle of Gorilla Glue to keep your keycaps on or something. I don't know. Keep that stuff on there. Oh, and as Japan goes for one more in the No-Mod 1 now, the United States sits at match point on the back of a secret keycap-less 950k. And Japan looking for just one more, keep getting as many points as possible. This is bragging rights at this point. The United States very clearly on a roll. They are having a great match aside from a couple of misses and a couple of unfortunate scenarios. Japan has played very well. They lost a couple of unfortunate points by small margins, and they are on track to potentially get to, which is not quite as many as Sweden got in the round of 16 versus the United States, but Sweden was having some special day that day because they were playing out of their minds in that match. I remember triple FCs in the round of 16, and I was like stunned.
I'm sorry, Mulkus just hit everybody with the most out-of-pocket thing right before the map got started. Yeah. For those who saw that was great.
We love Mulkus. We love Mulkus. Oh, let's see if the vibing in chat starts to make Mulkus rock these FCs out right now. Japan gonna need it. No-Mod 1.
And there goes Sekre's keycap again.
Keycap still gone? Sekre, you have to put it back on.
Firmly grasp it.
Firmly grasp. The United States with the first break is going to give some concessions to Japan early here, albeit not that much, as this is a long pick, of course, being in the Nomad 1, and anything helps if you're Japan's side right now. Any concession of score is what you are looking for early on as we start to approach the first Ki here.
Yeah, but it's the classic strategy with Nomad 1 being the lower seeded team, you know, it's the Gamba. And so far it's working, a 1 miss advantage. But again, this is quite a lengthy Nomad 1. That's the one thing to note here, just over 4 minutes. Heavy consistency test here. Most of these patterns pretty standard.
Well, the name of the game right now, and it's kind of funny that we're like seeing this matchup and we go, oh, this is a high seed versus a low seed, but we're at the point in the tournament where we are both looking at teams that are in the top 8 of this tournament right now. These are 2 of our top quarter of teams playing throughout, and with a score margin of 742 through the spinner, Japan could all but pull this back if there is no misses for the remainder of the map. The score is going to continue flickering back and forth as they match each other, and this could be a spinner difference on this map towards the end if we don't see any other major breaks from the sides here. I'll get that quick hyper dash into the pause, and it's 2 double S's.
Don't you do the thing, game. You better not do the number. Stop it. That score difference is getting dangerously close to a certain number.
That spinner was not nearly long enough to make a difference in that score as well, so this is going to continue sitting at this difference, flickering back and forth between the two here. It's basically just on the difference of when it's calculating the score. There is nothing to help either of these teams. God cannot save you now, US and Japan. What are you going to do with the remaining half of this pick? One more build up into the Ki, and this is going to be the section that matters. This is up. Oh, and Rizzo too! Japan falls apart! Oh no!
Mayday, mayday, mayday for Japan. This is not what you need to see, and now they need to see a double miss untraded out of the Americans into the back half of this map.
Some major struggles in that build-up for Japan into the Ki. It's not going to make too much of a difference as we try and get the United States to find some breaks here. Quick, let's start talking about them all the time. U.S. I don't know how to say. Sekre, you are manually breathing. You are manually breathing right now. You need to yawn immediately. I don't know what to do. They still have a double S on the bottom. Why are we focusing on Secret? Why are we focusing on him?
It doesn't work when you try. But unfortunately for Japan, they're doing well. They're recovering. They're comboing. But the Americans are providing nothing. Still 3-way full combos. They need to see something. They're down 2 misses.
At Secret's keycap.
Untraded double miss.
At Secret's keycap, I need a favor. I need a favor. Right now.
Can we get the other one? Can we get the other one, please?
Right now. Ooh, Creeper, your mouse is running out of battery and you need to plug it in right now. Ooh. Nothing. This is insane. The United States, aside of the memes and aside of what Japan is doing right now, are putting on an absolute clinic for this Nomad 1 right now. Lexi and Creeper, double S down on the bottom. Creeper, like, holding unbelievable consistency in this match alongside Lexi and Secret with just the 1 miss at the top. Are we actually going to finish this out at the end? We are. Triple 2K plus combo with an early break as both teams finish with a 3 million plus team score. Unbelievable 3v3 there, but Japan coming up just short on the extra set of breaks. A double S choke from Molkis. And Secret and Rindo, Secret just barely outperforming Rindo down on the bottom as Japan falls 6-1.
And let the record show that caster cursing does not work when you try it.
No, it doesn't at all.
There we go. This is clear, conclusive evidence. You could submit this into the OS archives. Let this be studied by any future caster we train. What a match.
Goodness.
Unfortunately for Japan, that a couple of the first maps and that other 7K difference didn't go their way. They definitely could have taken a few other points, but overall, it was the United States with Sekre, DeCreeper, and Lexi. Elux getting in on the fun 2 on Hidden 2 as well, delivering a dub for the United States. And now we have our semifinals, the top 4 teams all advancing. United States set to take on Italy. Argentina set to take on Finland, actually, not all the top seeds, my bad. I forgot that was an upset. Finland played so well, I forgot they were the 6th seed.
They're really.
That's how good they were.
Good. They've been crazy. They've been crazy this year. Unbelievable stuff from them. And the winner's bracket is starting to fall apart with them here alone as the 3rd seed gets knocked down from the winner's bracket. So that leaves us, instead of 1, 2, 3, 4, to 1, 2, 6, 4. Finland with the major upset. And the United States continues to be that clinically pointed team in a 6-1 victory that looks quite convincing against a Japanese roster that put Chile to bed last week. And now they fight Italy, who also looked equally strong against France this week. A 4th, 5th seed matchup. You expect that to be close, not end in a 6-1 finish where Italy is sort of running with it the entire time, especially with how good France's roster has looked this year. So, unbelievable match.
I do believe that France was missing one of their key players into Tobis, I believe, for that
Oh,
match.
no!
But, I mean, but still, you know, a dominant scoreline, exactly what you would expect Italy to do. You know, a lot of those matches that get overlooked are the matches where the stronger team is supposed to win in dominant fashion, you know? And when they do, it's kind of just overlooked as that's supposed to happen. That's exactly what you need to do, though, in terms of building momentum towards a big match. And now Italy will get the Americans next week, so they have some momentum. So do the Americans. It's all coming to a head next weekend, but we've still got 3 lower bracket matches left to go. We've got 3 more spots left in the top 12 to hand out. Chile, Sweden, gotta go at it for the next slot in an hour from now.
A few left to go, all the way through 18 UTC. Starting in an hour, we'll have that block of matches lined up for you all as we prepare ourselves for semi-finals weekend already, with the map pool showcase taking place at 19 UTC following that final match. You're not going to want to miss it. About an hour and 4 minutes from now. I've been Chili Repair, joined by Dolan once again this morning. We're going to take a quick break for you all. Make sure you go check out, buy some banners, support your favorite teams, still up on the store. You can support all of the teams if you would like. Still, if you predict the correct team to win the tournament, you'll get to keep the banner all year until the next Catch World Cup in 2026. But that's all from us for now, folks. We'll catch you in just an hour with Chile, Sweden. Don't go anywhere.
He said catch ya. Get it?